That shootout game in Washington is the only one since the first 2 games of the season that the Stars have gone to a shootout. Everything else has ended in overtime, and they'll redo this 3-on-3 face-off as Duchesne shakes it off on the left hand.
Kuznetsov thought he had bowled his way in, but he's actually going to get kicked out of the draw. Advantage Duchesne for possession here then.
But McMichael winds up winning it to the near side. Kuznetsov, Carlson, McMichael for the Caps. It's Duchesne, Sagan, and Heiskanen for the Stars. Possession to Washington. 3-on-3. Both of these teams heading into the All-Star break, both a point richer, with another big one looming, and the Caps put themselves offside on the entry 20 seconds into overtime.
Not by much. Yeah, that was kind of a pointless first shift for Kuznetsov. He gets booted out of the draw, and then he goes offside, trying to shut it down just inside the blue line. He's had an interesting year, let's say that, for a very talented guy for the Caps.
Dallas wins the faceoff. Now they've got possession for the first time. Tyler Sagan down the near wing. Curls behind the net, trying to catch up, and gets there in front of Carlson. He had a safety valve at center ice in Duchesne. Snapped ahead for Heiskanen. Leaves it at the logo, Matt Duchesne. He cuts right circle. Flips it along for Heiskanen. Held in the zone, Duchesne. Over to Heiskanen. Track it to the corner. Dallas is changing, so 3 Caps pursue. The Stars had an opportunity to get to it. It's still clogged in skates. Then Robertson comes away with it off a stick. And Thomas Harley. Here comes Johnston. Leaves it for Harley. The overtime hero on Thursday. Robertson to Johnston. He'll curl. Wyatt Johnston to the near circle. His shot off a stick, out of play. Almost a minute and a half gone by.
Look at, possession is about 90% of things in overtime, and Miro Heiskanen's down in the corner. He's 1 against 3. There's no way the Caps shouldn't come up with that puck. But ultimately, the scrap and the kibble and the tenacity of Robertson and company along the board, Stars come up with it. They charge in. Wyatt Johnston tries to test Lindgren. It goes off of the shaft of the stick of Carlson and up and out of play.
Johnston remains out there with Harley, and Marchment joins as well, but the Capitals control. Here's McMichael darting ahead, and Johnston got back to intercept the pass. But his headman feed is turned right back over to Washington. 4-4 is the score. 3-on-3 overtime. McMichael past the sweep of Harley. Man coverage from a defensive standpoint as it's banked out, but offside. Kuznetsov was in ahead of the pass arriving.
Evgeny Kuznetsov was a 25-goal, 50-assist guy, almost guaranteed. That caca goal celebration has kind of faded, and he's been on a treadmill here in overtime, and is back on their bench. Talented guy.
So it'll be an offensive zone faceoff. Jamie Benn out there with Pavelski and Heiskanen. Again, Roope Hintz has not returned since leaving after that puck up high, and certainly would be a part of things at 3-on-3 if he were available. They reset for this draw. Deep in Cap territory, won cleanly by the Stars cap. Pavelski in retreat. Pursued by Wilson. And now Miro Heiskanen. Little more than 2 minutes gone by from a 5-minute overtime period. Ben given some ice into Washington zone. Didn't like the look. He'll escape back out to center. Pete DeBoer preaching patience in overtime. Miro Heiskanen holds up. Between the blue lines, then the handoff. Here's Pavelski. Leaves it for Ben. Pressure in the form of Dowd, and one more time walks it out to center.
They had Dowd out there primarily for that faceoff in their own zone, and just now I think is going to get off.
He decided to stay on. He wanted to get off. Actually had a Capitals player who had hopped over the boards. Now they can change as the Stars use Ottinger as a defensive zone outlet. Harley snapped it ahead, but it was wide of Robertson. And that's icing against Dallas.
Not on the same page. So for the first time in OT, Ovechkin actually makes an appearance here with an offensive zone face-off. Strome out there, the guy who tied it. Sandin on defense, who has a goal in the game for them. So they've got weapons out. Again, though, it's all about who wins the draw.
They're all big, and this one is won by Washington. So Ovechkin bunts it along. Sandin this time, he'll walk it back. It's been an overtime filled with stoppages and retreats. Ovechkin, a nice move past Duchesne. Alex Ovechkin in, dropped it on the right side. The Stars collect. Duchesne ahead, gets it back. Flipped it on the left side. Robertson over to Harley. He shoots. He scores! He's done it again! Thomas Harley goes back-to-back overtime winners. His third this season, his second goal of the game, and he sends Dallas streaking into the All-Star break with a win.
This has been the afternoon for Ovechkin in the top line. They try to make something happen, but from that, chase back to their own end, and it's been cadaverous at times. This one, Harley with a sling against the grain wrister. He's a springer. He's a fat boy. Thomas Harley in OT is an ender. What a talent. What an ending. Enjoy the beach.
He ties a Stars franchise record for overtime goals in a season by a defenseman with his third this year.
Our Baylor Scott Whitehealth game diagnosis. Game was a 3-2 game in favor of the Stars beginning the third period. Matt Duchesne goes to work, gives them a 2-goal lead on Matt Duchesne Day at American Airlines Center. Looks like they're gonna milk that home here today, but on the power play and with their goalie on the bench, the greatest goal scorer of his generation with a wicked slapper to make it a 4-3 hockey game. And then it looked like Ottinger had it lodged between his legs. Strome said otherwise, picked it out of there, tucked it home. They reviewed it, counted it. We went to overtime, and that's where the Harley heroics took over. Just take what's given against the grain on a scrambling Lindgren in goal for them, who had his moments in the game.